So I welcome you all again for our Sunday Bhagavad Gita class. And we'll do a small quick recap. Before that, the objective of this class is that we should be able to read the shlok, and we should be able to understand the meaning of the shlok and to understand the basic philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Now, what we have done till now, we started with second chapter last time, and we saw that when Arjun is lamenting and is in compassion, Bhagwan Uvacha, Bhagwan said that, oh Arjun, leave all this this miserly weakness, and how come these impurities have come upon you? Leave everything and get up and fight. Yeah, get up, Uttishta, and fight. And then Arjun response to that was, how can I fight? How can I counter attack my guru and my guru who are standing here? They are worth giving, offering flowers to them. How can I fight with them? And then he says, now I don't know. I'm totally confused whether I should, what is going to happen, whether I'm going to conquer or whether I'm going to get conquered, whether I should fight or I should just leave. I really don't know. And finally, in Shlok 7, he accepts Krishna as his spiritual master, as his guru, and he says, I am totally confused. I don't know what I should do, and I'm surrendering myself to you, and I'm becoming your disciple. Please instruct me. And that's where we finished. Yeah. Now, before we start, we'll again look at our second and third shlok that Krishna had said. And we also talked about, in Bhagavad Gita, we are going to learn the 5 core things. One was Ishwar, one is Ishwar, then is soul, then is Karma, Prakriti, and Kal. So we covered Ishwar last time. We talked about Krishna and how he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and various shloks that were taken from Gita, and then Brahma-Sita talking about that. Now, Bhagwan said that, he actually challenged, he gives a verbal slap to Arjun and say, get up and fight. He's like challenging Arjun. So the question is Krishna a warmonger? Does he wants the fight? Yeah. So normally if someone reads Gita at first, the first impression that they get is Krishna is instigating the war. Yeah. So I would like to give a bit history so that, it will be good to understand Krishna's position and what he's trying to do. So this all started, we talked about that, the Pandavas, they were actually given the exile for 13 years, and now they have completed their Agyatvas. Yeah. So once they complete their Agyatvas, they have the rightful, they should get the kingdom back. So there has been discussion between both the parties, Kauravas and Pandavas, but what happened? It was not getting concluded. And finally, Krishna stepped in. He stepped in, he said, okay, let me try to do a final settlement between Pandavas and Kauravas to avoid the war. Let's do it a peaceful way. So once so Krishna decided to be the peace messenger, he wanted to be the messenger at the Kauravas court. Now, when he was going to when Dhritarashtra came to know that Krishna is coming, so he called Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Duryodhan, everyone, and talked about that Krishna is coming as a peace messenger, and he is the most important person in Pandava's army. And if we can win Krishna, then the battle is won. Yeah. So what we will do is, we will, on his way to Hastinapur, at various places, we'll give him a lot of chariots, gold, things full of gold. We'll give him a lot of gifts, so that, he finally gets dazzled by the gifts that is being given by Dhritarashtra. And while finally, by the time he reaches Hastinapur, he's happy and he takes our side. Yeah. But Duryodhan said that if you think he's the linchpin and he's the most critical person, and he's the most powerful person, then I would propose that we actually capture him and we throw him in dungeon, yeah, till the war ends, so that Pandavas are anyway weak, they'll become weaker. So everyone in the court is surprised listening to Duryodhan's thought. And then what happens is, and Bhishma and Drona said, Dhritarashtra, the right thing to do at this point of time is go ahead and give Pandavas their dues. It has been, now let's close that and give that. Vidur also says that. But then Dhritarashtra, yeah, finally Krishna reached, and Dhritarashtra had he gave a huge high welcome to Krishna, and Duryodhan had a great feast arranged for Krishna. But what Krishna did? He went to Vidur's house and had food there. He did not even eat at Duryodhan's place. Yeah. And then what happened is, and then what happened? So this is what happened there. And next day, Krishna goes to the court of Dhritarashtra, and he says, and he tells Dhritarashtra that see, the Kuru dynasty. The Kuru dynasty is famous for its what do you call it, forgiveness. They are the one who they are famous for dharma. They set up the dharma, and your dynasty is so much famous for that. And now I would say that, since Pandavas have come back, please give rightfully their share, so that peacefully things can be settled. I'm sure you would not like millions and millions of people to get slayed because of your indecision. So take a decision. You are the eldest in the family. You are the eldest in the family. For Pandavas as well as Kuru, Kauravas, you are the father-like figure. You are the king. And this is the time for you to take decision. Take the decision and ensure that we can avoid the war. And Dhritarashtra said, "Oh Krishna, my son Duryodhan, he doesn't listen to me. I cannot do anything. I'm incapable. Please go and talk to my son Duryodhan and let us see what he says." So now what happens is, Krishna says, okay, he goes to Duryodhan and says, "Duryodhan, I would say, whatever happened, now they have finished their 13 years of exile. I would say rightfully give them their due. Yeah, give them Indraprasth. Yeah, so let them rule over Indraprasth. You have anyway got Hastinapur. Let them be your allies, and do not try to, I don't know how you're daring to enter the cave full of lions. All these Pandavas are not, they're great lions. I don't know how can you dare that. Me, with my powerful army, I cannot dare to do that. I cannot do that. So please, my proposal to you would be, let's have peace. Forget about that. They are very powerful. You go and give them Indraprasth, so that it's a ally, and you are the most powerful. You together will be the most powerful kingdom, with yourself, Karna, Bhishma on one side, and all the Pandavas there, and together you will be the winners of the entire world. So why should you do it? Then he said, and also see, as per the dharma, it's right. It's dharma to give them the Indraprasth. And listening to all these talks of Krishna, what happened? Duryodhan got flared up. How dare you say that Pandavas are more powerful than us? This is not true. On my side, I have Bhishma Pitama, I have Drona, I have mighty Karna, yeah, I have Ashwathama, I have all these powerful people with all celestial weapons. What can the 5 Pandavas do to me? Krishna says, have you forgotten the Virat war? In the Virat war, Arjun alone defeated all of you. Yeah, so don't do this. He says, well, Virat was a different case, and it was for different reason. This is I will not agree that the Pandavas in any way are more powerful than us, and we will fight. And when you talk about dharma is what? They have lost because of the dice game. It was a fair play. They lost their kingdom, and now when they have lost their kingdom, why should I give them the kingdom? Yeah. So he says, okay, fine. Krishna says, fine. If you can't give them the kingdom, at least give them 5 villages. They are Kshatriyas, and they need to have give them 5 villages, and they'll be happy. So he says, forget about 5 villages. I will not even give a land equal to the needle point of needle. I will not give that to Pandavas. Yeah. So Krishna says, and then what Duryodhana did, he wanted to capture Krishna. He wanted to capture Krishna. Now Krishna, seeing that he is trying to capture, he says, oh Duryodhana, what do you think? I'm alone? And now, so you see, and then Krishna started expanding bigger, and bigger. And all the Rudras, all the Vasus, all the Brahmas, everyone is inside Krishna, and it was so much light, so much was there filled in the court, that everyone closed their eyes. They could not even see that. And then Krishna says, and then slowly he started becoming small, and then peacefully he left out. And then he knew that if we have to, we cannot let Duryodhan rule it. And he went back to to Pandavas. So the real war monger was Duryodhan. Yeah, he wanted the war, and because of which, so I wanted to have this clear before we move forward in our this one. journey. So as Krishna says in chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujanyaham. Whenever there's a the religion falls, and when there's a increase of religion, I come. And why do I come? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ch dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavani yuge yuge. To paritranaya, to support the sadhu, the good people. I'm there to support the good people, sadhunam, and to kill the miscreants and to re-establish dharma. I come again and again. So now we move back to our 2.7. So we finished here last time. Karpanya dosho pahat subhava prichhami tvam dharma sammuda cheta yashreyasya nishchitam ruhitan me shishyaste ham shadhi mam tvam prapanna. This is the turning point in Bhagavad Gita where Arjun accepts Krishna as the guru because he's totally confused and he asks him to instruct. So we go to the next slok now. Nahi prapashyami mamapnudyad yashokamuchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumava sapatnam riddham rajyam suranam abhichadhipatyam nahi prapashyami mamapnudyad yashokamuchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumava sapatnam riddham rajyam suranapi chadhipatyam. So pashya means to see, and apunadyad means to drive away. What to drive away? Yashok. Shok is lamentation, and uchoshan means drying up. Indriyana means my senses. Indriyana means my senses are drying up. Avapya means even if I get. Bhu, entire bhu. Sapatnam means unrivaled. Riddham is prosperity. Rajyam is kingdom. Suranapi is all the devtas, all the demigods. Chadipatyam means supremacy. So here Arjun says, I don't know how to drive away my grief. And even if I get, and my all senses are drying up, even if I get supremacy over the complete kingdom of demigods, and I get an unrivaled the earth, I earn that, but still I don't know how to drive away my grief. So I would request Vaishnavi to repeat the shlok. Nahi prapashyami mamapnudyad yashokamuchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumava sapatnam riddham rajyam suranapi chadhipatyam. I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it. Even if I've been a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom, on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. So here we can see that, Arjun is talking about all the wealth. Even if you get all the wealth and all the knowledge, so basically Arjun, he knows what is dharma shastra, he knows what is political science, and that's how he talked about in the previous that it's better to forgive than to fight. Yeah. So even if you have all the knowledge that you have and all the wealth that you have, but still when the life complexities come into picture, those knowledge cannot help you to solve that. Those knowledge is inadequate to help us solve the major complexities of life. Like, if we have to come out of this cycle of birth and death we are in, yeah, and related to that, when you're talking about what exactly life is and how we can come out this sorrow from this that we are facing, at that point of time, the only way forward is go to have the right spiritual knowledge, or to get a guru where you can get the knowledge to make things happen. We go to the next slok. 2.9 Sanjay Uvacha Eva Muktva Hishikesh Gudakesha Parantapaha Na Yotsya Iti Govinda Muktva Tushnim Bahuvasaha Eva Mukta Hishikesham Gudakesha Parantapaha Na Yotsya Iti Govinda Uktva Tushnim Babhuvaha Sanjay Uvacha Eva Muktva Rishikesham Gudakesha Parantapaha Na Yotsya Iti Govindam Uktva Tushnim Bahuvaha. So Eva Muktva Rishikesha. Eva Mukta means after saying that Rishikesha is Krishna, Gudakesha is Arjun, Parantapa is also Arjun. Both are Gudakesh. We talked about someone who has conquered the sleep is Gudakesh, which is Arjun, and Parantapa is chastiser of enemies is Arjun, and Rishikesh is someone who is the master of senses, which is Krishna. Now Yotsya means fight. Iti Govinda, I will not fight. Uktva said. Tushni means silent. Babhuvaha, he became silent. So what happened? Sanjay said, having spoken thus, Arjun, chastiser of enemy, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. He kept silent. So we repeat. Sanjay said, having spoken thus, Arjun, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. So now this Sanjay is telling this to Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra seeing that, imagining that, okay, now if Arjun is not going to fight, it means it is a victory of the Kauravas. It is the victory of the Kauravas. So he is becoming very happy. So in the next slok 2.10, Tamuvacha Hishikesha Prahasannava Bharata Sena Yorubhyor Madhye Vishidantam Idam Vachah Tamuvacha Hishikesha Prahasannava Bharata Sena Yorubhyor Madhye Vishidantam Idam Vachah
Tam uvacha Rishikeshah
Prahasannava Bharata Sena Yorubhyor Madhye Vishidantam Idam Vachah Tam uvacha, then said, who? Rishikesh, Krishna. Prahasanniv, a slight smile on his face. Prahasan means smiling. Slight smile, as if he's smiling. Bharat is the descendant of Bharat. So Sanjay is addressing to Dhritarashtra. Oh Bharat, Sena Yorubhyor Madhye. Where are they standing now? They are in between the both the armies. In between the both armies. Vishidantam. Who is Vishida? Who is lamenting? Arjun. Arjun is lamenting. Idam vacha. He said. So what happened? Rishikesh. So let's read the meaning. O descendants of Bharat. At that time Krishna, smiling, in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. So here, Krishna is smiling a bit. He's not smiling on the grief of Arjun, because Arjun is lamenting and full of grief, right? He's not smiling for that. He's smiling, that the Acharya says that he's smiling, that look what has happened. I was first the charioteer. I was a friend. And now I am becoming a guru. I'm becoming a spiritual master. So he's changing his roles. He's changing his roles. So he's smiling. Okay, fine. So now I am and he accepts that role as a spiritual master. And then what he did after accepting, and he's also smiling, thinking, look, we were standing here in between both the armies to fight with the arrows of fire, right? But what's happening? Instead of that, is going to be the battlefield is going to convert into a classroom. I'm going to give the knowledge to him. Yeah, it's going to be college, and instead of a fight of arrows, it's going to be a fight of words. And that words is going to understand, give the understanding to the heart, inner hearts, so that he gets up and fights. He does his duty well. He does this words, that arrow that he's going to throw is on towards his heart, so that he understand what his duty as Kshatriya should do and come out of the ignorance and darkness he is in. Yeah, that's why he is smiling. So we go to the next slok. So that finishes the first part of second chapter, where we talked about Arjun's indecision and accepting Lord Krishna as Guru. Now the second part is from shlok number 11 to shlok number 13. This is Gyan Yog or Sankhya Yog. Yeah, and this part is going to answer the first dilemma that Arjun was in. His first dilemma was he was compassion. Seeing Bhishma and Drona, he was totally compassionate, and then looking at all other relatives, and then he started lamenting, right? So now Krishna is explaining to Arjun. That's what he'll start. And the gist of this particular shlok from 11 to 13 is Krishna is going to say that we are the soul. Who am I? We are the soul. We are not this body. And he's going to explain the relation of body, soul, and the control of both. That is what is the knowledge that he's going to give. So let's go to the next first shlok of second part, which is 2.11. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Ashochanyan Anvashvochastvam Pragyavadascha Bhashase Gatasuna Gatasunscha Nanushocanti Panditah. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Ashochananavashocastvam Pragyavadascha Bhashase Gatasuna Agatasunscha Nanushocanti Panditah. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Ashochanan Anvashocastvam Pragyavadansha Bhashase Gatasuna Gatasunscha Nanushocanti Pandita. So from here, Krishna starts giving the knowledge about Gyan Yoga or Sankhya Yoga. So the word yog means connection to God. Yeah, it's if you look at the entire part of yoga, one of the process is physical, but the main word yog, it comes from yuj dhatu, where it means connecting to God. And Krishna is going to explain Gyan Yoga is through that Gyan, how can we strengthen the relation between the soul and the super soul, right? Ashochanan means something which is not worthy of something lamenting. Yeah, the Ashochanan is something not worthy of lamenting. Anvashochastvam, tvam means you are lamenting for some, but you are lamenting. Yeah, Pragyavadasha Bhashase. Pragya is learned. Pragya is learned. So you are talking, the way you are talking, your bhasha is such that you are very, very learned. Gata soon. Gata means lost, gone. Asoon is life. Gata soon is means dead. Someone whose life is gone is dead. Agata means not gone. Soon is life, means something which is living. Yeah. Gata soon, agata soonscha, nanushocanti pandita. Pandita is a wise person. What? Anushocanti again means don't lament. So all this word is such dhatu. In Sanskrit, there is a main word which is dhatu. Through that, all other words will get derived. If it's a past tense, it will get if it is so, it is a such dhatu that talks about that. So here, Krishna says that although you are talking like a very learned man, yeah, but then still you are lamenting for something which is not worth lamenting. Yeah. So the Pandit, the wise people, they don't lament either for dead or for living. Got it? So let's read the meaning now. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
while speaking learned words,
while speaking learned words,
you are mourning for
you are mourning for
what is not worthy of grief.
what is not worthy of grief.
Those who are wise
Those who are wise,
lament neither for the living
lament neither for the living
nor for the dead.
nor for the dead.
So now let's understand this shlok. Now, Pragya Vadasya Bhashase. So we saw in the first chapter, Arjun, right from shlok number 27 till 46, he talked about his dilemma, especially in shlok number 36, when he talks about that although the people, the Kauravas who are standing here, they are my aggressors. Yeah. But still, we should not fight with them. What we should do? We should, there are Swajan, there are what, you know, they are our relatives, and what we should not fight, but we should forgive them. We should forgive them. So this knowledge that he's talking about is based on the Shastras. So what happens? We have political science or social science, which talks about violence. So if Kshatriya is challenged, he has to fight it. Yeah, that is a political science. That is a political science. You are challenged and you have to do that. Above that is Dharma Shastra. Above the political sciences, Dharma Shastra. What does the Dharma teach us? Show compassion, show forgiveness. Yeah. So it is okay. Yeah. And here, this is the ethical dilemma that Arjun is in. Yeah. Although they are aggressors, but they are my relatives. So what should I do? And that is what he is now, dilemma he's facing. So he's thinking, okay, because dharma is higher than the political science, I am ready to forgive them. Okay, I am ready to beg, go to forest and beg, but I will not fight with them, because that is going to create the entire dynasty will get lost. And then he talks about all the impact of killing the dynasty, because he's the hero of his own dynasty. And he's thinking that when he's going to kill, what are the implications that's going to happen? Entire Samaj will become corrupted. So he's worried about that. Yeah. So Krishna says, Pragya Vadashvasa. You had been talking like a learned person. Yeah. But you are lamenting for something which is not worth lamenting. Because Pandit, the wise, it means you are not Pandit. Because Pandit, they don't lament for dead or living. Now he's giving another higher gyan than Dharma Shastra. And higher gyan than Dharma Shastra, the higher knowledge is Gyan Shastra, which is Sankhya Yoga. Yeah, that is a higher Shastra. What is that Shastra? That is about body and soul. Now he talks about two things, dead and living. What is the difference between a dead and living?
The soul. The soul.
A dead person and a living person? Prana is not there, right? That is the difference. Yeah. So what is the thing? The difference between a dead person and a living person is only the prana is not there, the soul is not there, right? Everything else is there. All his body parts is there, his brain is there, his nervous system is there, his eyes, ears, everything looks same. The only thing missing is the prana, the soul. Yeah. So he says, soul and body are different. And the wise know about it. Those who are pandit, those who are wise, they are aware about this gyan, the gyan of the knowledge of body and soul being different, and the relation, the controller of both. This three is the Jnana Yoga. Knowledge about body, knowledge about soul, and the controller of both body and soul. That knowledge is Jnana Yoga. So he says, although you are talking like a learned man, but still you are lamenting. It doesn't suit you, because the wise, when Pandit, they know about the difference between the dead and living. Because soul is what? Soul is eternal. Soul is eternal. So the dead and whatever happens, so the soul is going to remain. Even if it's dead or if it's living, what is happening? The soul is eternal, it's going to live. So why are you crying? Why are you lamenting? So the soul is covered by gross body and subtle body. The soul is covered by gross body and subtle body. The gross body is made up of earth, water, fire, wind, and ether. These are the five components of which the gross body is made up of. And the subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego. Ego is there, but Prabhupada calls it false ego. Yeah. And what happens is when we die, the gross body, the 5 elements of earth, they goes and it meets back the earth elements, right? And the subtle body, which is mind, intelligence, and ego, they go along with the soul. Soul is eternal, but it is covered by these 2 parts. And the soul is eternal. The subtle will also continue with the soul, and all our karmas, the impressions that we are doing, it is actually on mind, intelligence, and ego. Subtle body. Vasana. So it is those karma, the impressions of that is in the subtle body, and that travels with the soul. That is how it, the soul and those things continues to your next life also. Yeah, and it travels with the soul, and then this subtle body also gets liberated when you get, basically when you get liberated, moksha, what will happen? The subtle body goes away. Yeah, but then the soul always remains. Soul never dies. Soul is always there. Yeah, it will always there. Yeah, so that is what now Krishna is saying, that Pandit, the wise people have the knowledge about body, soul, and the controller of both, and they don't cry for death and living. Then why are you crying? Right? Then let's go to the next one. The next is the 12th slok. Na tve vaham jatu nasam. Na tvam neme janadhipa. Na chaiva na bhavishyamah. Sarve vayamatah param. Na tve vaham jatu nasam. Na tvam neme janadhipa. Na chaiva na bhavishyamah. Sarve vayam atah param. Rupam. Yeah, okay, you continue. Yeah, continue. Na tve vaham jatu nasam. Na tvam neme janadhipa. Na chaiva na bhavishyamah. Sarve vayam atah param. So na tve vaham jatu nasam. Now the word here is jatu. Jatu means at any time. Asam is existing. So aham is I. There was not a time when I did not exist. Krishna is saying there was not a time when I was not existing. Na tvam, neither you. Na me janadhipa. Adhipatis are kings. Jana, neither all these kings who are present here. They were always there. They were there. Na chaiva na bhavishyama. Even in bhavishya, even in future. Sarve vayam, all of them. Sarve, all. Vayam means all of us are going to be there. Hereafter, all of us are. So it is because it's a soul. Soul is eternal. So it is always there. So let's read the meaning of it. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future, shall any of us cease to be. So again, Krishna is saying, Arjun, why are you lamenting? All of us were always there, yeah, and we are always going to be there. So but now we are talking about soul, eternity of a soul. Now we are also saying that the individual soul as well as Krishna's soul, everything is eternal. But that doesn't mean that that our soul, the individual soul, is equivalent to Krishna's soul. Yeah, we are a very minutest of a part of the bigger supreme soul. We are a too minute part of the supreme soul, right? Although quality wise, we have the subset of the qualities of Krishna, right? But quantitative wise, Krishna is so huge and we are too minute, right? That is the relation between us. For example, see, when we have to get our blood test done, yeah, only a small one part of the blood is taken and they can find out all. But that is what are the characteristics or properties they want to check, and then they can say what the entire, yeah. Similarly, so the quality wise we have similar. We are subset of the complete qualities that Krishna has. but we are too minute. Again, you can talk about the gold. Even if you take a small part of gold, it will have all the property of a gold mine.
Right.
It will have all the properties of a gold mine. So Krishna is huge, and we are minute. We can't even, so we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna, right? So that is one thing which was here. So now Arjun, and like Arjun, all of us will think that, well, Arjun may argue to Krishna, fine, you talk about soul and you say that, soul is eternal, but finally I am attached to this body. This soul is in this body, and for me, soul is eternal. But then I want this body. I want Bhishma. I want Drona. Yeah. To me, I'm lamenting that this body will go. So then Krishna says, explain in the next slok. Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Dhirastatra na muhyati.
Dhirastatra na muhyati.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Dhirastatra na muhyati.
Dhirastatra na muhyati.
So now Krishna, to answer Arjun that, I'm attached to this body. So now he talks more about soul. Dehino asmin. Asmin is my, yeah. Dehi is the soul, the embodied soul. Dehi is soul and Dehi is body. So there are two words here. Dehi as well as De. The De means body and Dehi means the soul. The soul, the embodied soul is in this body. Just like the body, it changes from Kaumar, Yauvan, Jara. Kaumar is boyhood, youth, and then Jara is old age. Yeah, right? Tatha, and then Dehantar. Dehantar is death. When you change the Dehantar, changing the De, right? So Tatha Dehantar Prapti. When you become old, what happens? It also moves to the another body. And so nicely Krishna explains that the soul is in the body. Soul is there, but what happens? The body keeps on growing. It from boyhood to youth to old age, and finally, when the old age it dies, it goes to another body, and it continues. And Dhira, who is Dhir? Dhir is a sober and a wise person. Sober and a wise person, Tatra Muyate, they don't get disturbed by these things. Yeah, they don't get, because soul is always there. Soul will keep on traveling. It will keep on traveling. Although your body is changing, but soul is nicely sitting there, watching you based on your karmas, performing things, and giving you the chance to do what it is. We'll talk about karma in the next chapter, and it is moving. Yeah. So let's read the meaning. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So I would request Rupam to repeat the shlok.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Kaumaram yovanam jara.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Dhirastatra na muhyate.
Dhirastatra na muhyate. Now, here, so now here, because he had asked that question that I am attached to the body, so he is explaining that the soul is moving, and what will happen after old age? It will die. It will actually change the body. Yeah, and then he's saying, see, you are talking about Bhishma, Drona. Yeah, so it is in a way good. It is like, we are wearing, what do? We are wearing nice clothes, but when it becomes old, what do? We take that out and throw it, and we buy new clothes. Isn't it? That's what we do. Huh? And if you talk in terms of the nowadays in the mobile terms, the SIM is your soul. That remains fixed, right? That remains fixed. But what happens? The mobile body, which is your sometimes it is Samsung, sometimes it is Apple, and sometimes it's a new Apple, right? That you keep on changing, but your number, which is the soul, the SIM card remains same. Hai na? But why do we change it? Because something new has come. This is becoming old. New has come with new features. Okay, new has come with new features. Yeah. So what we do is so dehino asmi yatha dehe koma. Yeah. So this is what happens, isn't it? So this is what is it changes the soul, keeps on changing the body, and then he's saying then why should you bother? Why should you worry about it? Huh? And then Arjun says again that and then he talks about Bhishma and Drona. So imagine Bhishma, they are such noble people. Bhishma and Drona are such noble people, and they are actually tied because of the Bhishma is tied because of the promise that he had made, right? So it is good, they will get free, they have done noble things. So may probably now in the next they may get what do you call it, they may actually go to Vaikuntha. Yeah. So what you are doing is actually relieving them from the bondage. Yeah. And it is soul is moving, soul is not dead. Yeah. But Arjun again says, but I love Bhishma, I love Drona, I am attached to that body, I cannot, I'll lament. Yeah. And then Krishna answers to it. He says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya.
Matra sparshastu kaunteya.
Shitoshna sukha dukkhada.
Shitoshna sukha dukkhada.
Agama payano nitya.
Agama payano nitya.
Tam tatikshasva bharata.
Tam tatikshasva bharata.
Matra sparshastu kaunteya.
Matra sparshastu kaunteya.
Shitoshna sukha dukkhada.
Shitoshna sukha dukkhada.
Agama payano nityas.
Agama payano nityas.
Tam titikshasva bharata.
Tam titikshasva bharata.
Matra sparsha. Sparsha is touch, right? Sense. It is just a sense perception. It is just a sense perception. Kaunteya. Now in this shlok, he uses two main words to address Arjun. Kaunteya. He's trying to show the from Kunti's side, you are such a great person. You have such a great dynasty, Kaunteya, from your mother's side. Shitoshna. Sheet is winter. Ushna is summer. Sukh and dukh. Sukh is happiness. Dukh is grief, sadness, right? Agama, appearance. Apaino, disappearance. Anitya, temporary. Agama, appear. Agama, apaino, disappear. And anitya is temporary. Tam, that. Titikshasva, tolerate. Bharata. Bharata is again descendants of Bharat. So he's saying, Arjun, you are from such a noble family. You're such a great family. From where King Bharat is coming. You're the descendant of King Bharat, and you are from Kaunteya's side, Kunti's side, and you should understand this. And what you should understand, that Sukh and Dukh are like winter and summer season. They'll keep on appearing and disappearing, and they're temporary. They'll keep on appearing and disappearing. They're temporary. They're just for sense perception. It is just because there's no other way. You have to tolerate it. You have to tolerate it. Yeah. Tam titikshasva. Titikshas means tolerate. You don't have an option. But if you cannot disconnect, if you still want to remain attached to that body, and you cannot, you are not ready to understand the knowledge, then you have to tolerate it. Yeah. The question is, how do we increase our tolerance? It is very easy to say tolerate it, right? But then how can we increase our tolerance? What is the method? The only method is, if you want those qualities, just take Krishna's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The stronger your bond is with Krishna, the more tolerant you will be. You will remain sama in sukh and dukh. You will get equanimity in sukh and dukh. Yeah, because you know that you are not this body. This is because you have a karma, you are suffering all these things. But you are soul, and soul is a part of Krishna. So better to give time to Krishna. Yeah, that is the right thing to do, and strengthen your relation with Krishna. Yeah, the more you go into body material, what will happen? The more you are in material body, you are more into pain, and because this Krishna says in one of that, this material world is dukhale ashashvatam. This material world is dukhale. Ale is house. What is vidyale? Vidyale is school. Ale of vidya, right? So what is dukhale? Dukhale is ale of dukh. So this material world is dukhale, and it is ashashvatam. It is temporary. If you don't get that knowledge that we are actually soul and part and parcel of Krishna, and get attached to Krishna and strengthen your bond to Krishna, you will keep on coming in this body with regularly with into this birth and death cycle again and again, and you will keep on suffering. So if you still want to hold Bhishma and Drona, then you will have to tolerate. Clear? Yeah. So this is what the last four slok, and the next slok is a very important slok. So here says, he says, let's read the meaning of it. And I would request, Vanji, you speak. Matra
sparshastu kaunteya.
Matra sparshastu kaunteya.
Sitoshna sukha dukkha.
Shitoshna sukha dukkhada. Agama payuno nityas. Tam titikshasva bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course, are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception. O skin of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Now here, Prabhupada gives very good examples in the purport. He talks about a mother. Think about a mother. I think all of us would have seen that. Our mother sitting, making food on chulha. Yeah? So in winter, it is nice to be sitting near the chulha and cooking food for the family. That is her dharma. The dharma of a mother is to make food and ensure all her family are well fed, right? She does it. In summer, it could be very, very hot. She doesn't say no. She still sits there in the chulha, and still she cooks that, right? So she does her duty. So when you do your duty, you get the knowledge, and from knowledge you get the liberation. So similarly, look at today's situation. The people who are working, you are working in different time zones because you are responsible for the financial. You are responsible to get the financial stability of the family, irrespective of what it is. I'm sure no one likes to work in the US time zones, but everyone works. Yeah, from morning to night we are working. Why are we working? So that we can earn money and we can send our kids to good schools and give a good life to our family. Isn't it? Yeah. So we do our duty. We don't say, no, I'll not do today. I'm going to leave and I'm going to go to forest. No one says that. They do their duty. Yeah. So you have to do your duty. Isn't it, Arjun? Whether it is sukh or dukh, whether it is, you have to do your duty. You cannot run away from not doing your duty. Right? Then Krishna says about Sheet and Ushna. Sheet and Ushna is at a physical level, at a physical body level. There are so many ways you can control Sheet winter or Ushna summer. Yeah. Summer you can buy your AC and you can be comfortably sitting in an AC and you can enjoy. Yeah. And in the winter, you can always you can wear warm clothes and a heater and you can do. Tolerating something at a physical level is much easier because you can change the temperature. But sukh and dukh, that is too much internal to you. That is too much internal to you. And you have to tolerate it. The only thing you have to do is you have to tolerate it. Yeah. And how to increase your tolerance? By connecting and strengthening your bond with Krishna. And how do you do that? Every day you chant. Chanting is the first method of connecting to the God and making you strengthening to your relation with the God. Listen to as much bhajan you can, sing as much bhajan, as much, you read scriptures, you listen, hearing. Yeah, that is the first thing. The more you hear, the more you get attached, and the more you get attached, the more you hear. Yeah, it's a process. Yeah, so he says that sukh and dukh, they are like winter and summer season, they'll come and go, and you will have to keep on tolerating that. And then in the next slok, Krishna says, Yam hi na vyathiyantyete
Yam hi na vyatiyante te.
Purusham Purusharshabha
Purusham Purusharshabha.
Samadukha Sukham Dhiram
Samadukha Sukham Dhiram.
Somritvaya Kalpate
Somritvaya Kalpate.
Yam hi na vyathiyantyete
Yam hi na vyatiyante te.
Purusham Purusharshabha
Purusham Purusharshabha.
Samadukha Sukham Dhiram
Samadukha Sukham Dhiram.
Somritvaya Kalpate.
Somritvaya Kalpate.
Anish.
Yamina Vyatyante.
Yam hi na vyathiyantyete
Purusham Purusharshabha.
Purusham Purusharshabha
Samadukha Sukham Dhiram.
Samadukha Sukham Dhiram
Somritvaya Kalpate.
Somritvaya Kalpate. So here Krishna says, Purusharshabha is, wise among, great among Purush. So, Yam hina vyathyantete. Who do vyatha is distressed. Those who don't get distressed, and they are some means equal in dukh and sukh. That dhir, that sober person is somritvaya kalpate, is eligible for liberation. Is eligible for liberation. So let's read the meaning. O best among men,
O best among men.
the person who is not disturbed
The person who is not disturbed
by happiness and distress,
By happiness and distress.
and is steady in both,
And is steady in both.
is certainly eligible for liberation.
Is certainly eligible for liberation.
That is equanimity in both is the eligibility for liberation. Yeah. So here Krishna says, so be equal. Dukh and sukh will keep on coming. It is a part. If you are in this body, in this world, dukh and sukh is a part of going to be our life. You have to continue doing your duty. You have to continue doing your duty. And when you continue doing your duty, what will happen? You will get knowledge. And with that knowledge, you will be able to get liberated. Yeah. So with this, we'll close today's class. It will be open for question answers. Any question? So those who are online, you can write your questions on chat. I will definitely answer that. So with this, thank you. Let's sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times and close the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.